The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Justin Fields spoke about some lofty goals that he has for himself and the Jets, plus the latest coming from Jets training camp. Let's talk all about it. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, AG's first training camp with the New York Jets is underway. We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quentin Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. Day 2 of training camp is underway. A lot to talk about coming after day 1. Aaron Glenn spoke. Justin Fields spoke. We'll hear from him in a moment. A couple other players spoke as well. Jamie and Sherwood, Joe Tippmann. And each day the Jets will make different players available, so we'll have some interesting sound bites to react to on the show. We also, in the afternoon, will recap what happens on the field. In the morning, the Jets are typically practicing around 8:30 Eastern time. Depending on the day, a practice could go for an hour and a half to 2 hours. So if anything notable happens while the practice is live and I'm live on this show, we will certainly mention it and break it down in real time. The biggest thing you want to see early, though, is no injuries. You do not want to see any key player suffer any sort of injury. That's the biggest thing, not just in training camp, but the preseason as well. And as far as some guys that we were curious about yesterday, if they were healthy, Malachi Corley being one, he was out there. It was reported that he had a bad drop, but at least he was out there. I mean, Malachi Corley is certainly playing for a spot on the 2025 roster for week 1, because I don't think that's guaranteed at all. But I want to start today, before we get to your calls and we talk about what's actually happening on the practice field, and we get to the Azzies, by the way. We're going to vote on how about the best Charles Gorman moment of the last calendar year. I mean, too many to name. Tough to come up with 4, but the Azzie committee did their best to come up with the top 4. But as far as the on-field product for the Jets, so much of the season, I think everyone knows where we're going with this, comes down to the play of Justin Fields. So Fields spoke yesterday, and he was asked for his goals with the Jets this year.
Of course, winning a lot of games, making the playoffs. I think that's number 1 on my list for this team, winning the division as well. So I think those are the goals that are set forth. But of course, before we do all that stuff, we got to win our division and go out and really get better each and every day. So all of that to say, that's of course down the line. So we kind of got to focus on today and tomorrow. So but taking it step by step, day by day. But those are the goals that I want to accomplish this year.
All right, I'm not even kidding. I just saw multiple tweets confirming Justin Fields apparently just got hurt in practice. As we're literally talking about injuries not happening, Connor Hughes tweeted, Justin Fields limping off the field with trainer. Didn't see what happened, but he's hurt. Zach Rosenblatt, Justin Fields limping off to the sideline. Samini, Fields limps off the field after being pressured on incomplete pass under the tent with a trainer. Are you kidding me? It's the second practice, and the pads aren't even on, and we're seriously doing the Justin Fields is injured thing? I mean, I can't do this today, people. I really can't. It is too early for this nonsense. Now, look, I'm not going to go crazy, I guess, yet, but here are the tweets that I'm seeing. So now forget talking about Justin Fields' goals. Can he actually stay healthy? What's the point of this season if he's not the quarterback? Fields limps off field after being pressured on incomplete pass. You got to be kidding me. I'm going to constantly just scroll Twitter. Let's be real. Nothing else matters what I'm going to say about Fields till we get some sort of update on this. More information. He ran one play of 11 on 11 and was pressured, then stopped the team drill to do special teams as Fields limped to the sideline. The Jets stopped the team drill. What happened here? So we got pressured on an incomplete pass. No one actually hit him. I mean, you got to be kidding me. What the hell is happening? Glenn is not going to speak till 10:05. We're going to make an adjustment here. We'll carry Aaron Glenn live on the show this morning because I want to hear live on this show immediately, whatever the update is here, because what are we doing here? Oh, my God. You can't make it up. Justin Fields being tended to by the trainer here. Let's see. What else we have here? Jets were running through team drills. Starters came back on. They ran one play. Fields incompletion. He stood up, sat down, then stood up before he limped off the field very gingerly. He's currently on the table. Trainers removed his shoe and are working on him. He's on table. Braylon Allen, Tyrod Taylor come over to check on him. I mean, this is a non-contact injury. I'm having PTSD of the Rodgers injury week 1 when, remember, he stood up and then sat back down? That's literally what Rodgers did. I didn't see the play, so I'm not trying to go down the worst possible scenario, but there's no alternative on this team right now. I mean, this is, you got to be just kidding me, man. I mean, without seeing the play, maybe he just, rolled his ankle funny or something. I don't know, man. I cannot do this on July 24th. God, man. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. I just, what is there to even say? Are you kidding me? All right. Let's keep scrolling here. I mean, obviously his day is done. It's practice in July. Justin Fields being carted inside after limping off and being checked by a trainer. Oh, my God. They ran one play of 11 on 11. So second practice, first play of team drills, and the quarterback suffered a serious enough injury that they're bringing out the cart so he doesn't have to put any pressure and walk back inside the facility. Well, this day just took quite the turn for the worst. I mean, there is nothing to talk about until we have an update on Justin Fields. Nothing. Let's go through some scenarios now. If he is significantly injured, Tyrod Taylor is going to start. Tyrod Taylor is not going to make it through a 17-game season. The Jets are going to have to add a legitimate quarterback if there's an actual serious injury here to Fields. I mean, they're going to have to bring somebody in because you can't go into the year with your number 2 being Adrian Martinez or Brady Cook. You just can't. You need to add a legitimate veteran quarterback that could step in and play. I mean, look, if Fields is actually hurt, and this is serious, this franchise is just cursed. There's no other way to explain it. There's just no way. There's no way we're going through this again. And this is even worse right now than Rodgers. At least Rodgers, we had the summer of hype and excitement. We had Hard Knocks. We don't even get to enjoy the idea of trying to convince ourselves, hey, maybe Fields could take this step forward like we've seen other quarterbacks around the league the last few years do it. This is scary, folks. I mean, I got nothing for you right now. I'm going to text some people I know that are there. This is just crazy. Crazy. Lower leg injury. That's all we know. This is just unbelievable. I'm sorry. I'm without speech today. And like I'm on ESPN New York today from 1 to 3. There's only one thing we could do in a time like this. Richard wrote in, Jake, are you allowed to drink on YouTube Live? This is the earliest I've had to drink on this show since Rodgers died week 1, 2023, and we were live the next morning. This is unbelievable. This is unreal. I know what will make things better. Here's our head coach praising Michael Clemens.
Big, strong, tough. I tell you what, me and Banjo was making a joke about this yesterday when they were doing a conditioning test. If there is any player that I would like to look like, it'll be him. Like he is built the way that you want to be, have a football player built. So, but there's things that he know that he has to get better at. I mean, some of the penalties that he had last year, we've talked about that. He has to improve on that, but he's a big, strong defensive end that can set an edge. And he does have some rush ability. And the way that he rushes is probably different than the way other guys rush. He's a power player. So I expect him to go out there and play with power.
I can't. I mean, I honestly, I feel bad for Aaron Glenn. This Fields thing is the worst. I mean, Aaron Glenn, you really built for this shit? Because here you go. Here's your first sign of adversity. The franchise quarterback that you believe you signed in free agency has already suffered an injury where they're carting him off the field.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
This is unbelievable. This is unreal. I'm texting people that are there. If you're wondering why there's silence right now, I don't even know what to say. What am I supposed to say? This is astonishing. I'm texting Will, who's there right now. This doesn't feel real, man. This just can't be real. What quarterbacks are out there? I just Googled free agent quarterbacks. God, this is just... I got nothing. This is unbelievable. Unreal. Dylan says, I'll block anyone who says, let's sign Derek Carr. Dylan, if you're around and want to hop on right now, I could use someone to talk to because I don't even know what to say. Honestly, my first thought, call the Giants and see if you can get Jameis Winston. Right? They drafted Jackson Dart. Winston is the number 3, according to the reporters who were there yesterday covering the Giants, because they're trying to get Dart ready to play at some point, so he's getting more reps than Winston, because what's the point? Like, if you bench Russell Wilson, you're not going to go to Jameis. You're going to go to the rookie and give him a chance. This is just... this is unreal, man. We can't be doing a Justin Fields injury on the second day of camp, second practice of the summer. if you're tuning in, Justin Fields apparently facing pressure on the first play of 11 on 11 at camp going on right now, did something to his ankle and had to be carted off, which, I mean, you cannot make this up. You just can't. I don't even know what to say. If anyone has anything to say, please call in, because I just, this is the worst. It never ends with this franchise. You change the coach, you change the GM, we change the locker room, you still are the New York Jets, where bad things just find a way to continue to happen. Also, we're not doing the Azzies this morning on the show. Programming update. I don't feel like being all excited and happy. I got nothing. I got nothing. We can't even get through the second practice before something like this happens. This is unreal. Unreal. This is just, it's sickening, man. It's just like, what the fuck? Excuse my language, but I'm sorry. This is such a joke. Tyrod Taylor's not making it through a season. So they're going to have to add a quarterback if this is significant. And also, here's the thing, too, with Fields, right? Say it's not season ending, but it's going to keep him out a lot. He needs the reps this summer. It's a brand new offense. It's a brand new scheme. Nick says, you think the media would try to update us? Once they take them inside, there is no update until Aaron Glenn's going to speak after practice here. This is unbelievable. I don't even know what to say. Honestly, call the Falcons. Get Kirk Cousins here. I'm not throwing away this season. I'm not. I'm not just going to say, oh, just tank now. No, I'm not just tanking now. Tanking doesn't do shit. There's no guarantee. You get the right pick and you take the right quarterback. Nothing. I'm not tanking. The reality is this team was not, a Super Bowl team, but there's certainly enough talent where if it clicked with Fields for a year, you could see the Jets competing for one of the playoff spots in the AFC. But I'm not throwing away this year, man. Like they have to be proactive here. Call the Giants about Jameis, Kirk Cousins. Do I think these guys are the answers long term? No, but I need to add someone to that room with Tyrod. Tyrod could start. He's not making it through the year. But I'm not tanking. I'm not like just lose a bunch of games. No, man. Coops writes in that says Aaron Rodgers voodoo all over it. If you have such Aaron Rodgers derangement syndrome that you're somehow blaming him for this, when all he did when he became a Jet was try to change the Jet voodoo that he's dealt with, and then he went down 4 plays in. I don't know what to tell you. Austrian Jet fan, this team deserves a quarterback. Someone wrote trade for Flacco. I mean, he stinks too, but you have to add someone that's played. This is unreal. For those just tuning in, Fields carted off at training camp. We don't know the severity of the injury. Glenn is supposed to speak at 10:05. We're going to carry it live on the show. Because I cannot do this, man. Aaron Glenn immediately stopped the period and moved on to a special teams drill. The car transporting Fields took the long way back to the locker room, avoiding the area where reporters are standing. This is a serious injury. I have the worst feeling about this. I'm sorry. I'm trying to not go absolutely ballistic until we get an idea. Justin Fields was able to walk into the Jets facility on his own strength after be carting off. That's from Ally on his own. The Jets doctor just spoke to GM Darren Muji. That's from Costello 9 minutes ago on Twitter. Jets carted Fields the long way. Hard to see specifics because of this. Fields sat upright, hands at his sides. Using binoculars, the cleat was off his right foot. I mean, you hope he just rolled an ankle or something that's going to keep him out a couple weeks. It's going to hurt his development, but it's better that than he's out for the season, God forbid. I mean, this is just disgusting. Justin Fields limps off at Jets training. He carted off sideline, then walked off under his own power. This is sickening. This is disgusting. Let's hope it's just a sprain and something that is not serious. But also, let's call it for what it is. Fields' superpower is his ability to rush, to run. If this is something that's going to limit that, he's not going to be as effective, even if you're someone who believed in Justin Fields breaking out. That was still based around the fact that he is an elite runner. I can't do this, man. Now it's the lead story on ESPN. Breaking news, Justin Fields limps off at Jets training camp, leg injury. This is just disgusting. Sickening. Jets reporter Nick Faria is on the line with us now. Nick, I know you were not actually at camp today, but I mean, what is your reaction to what we know so far?
Whatever deal Joe Namath made for that Super Bowl III ring is still coming home to roost. And that's really the only explanation that I would have for something like this. Day 2 of camp. And again, it's important to not speculate, as always. We don't know the severity of the situation. Just because he went off in a cart does not mean that his season is over. We have to wait, obviously, until the doctors come out with a clear-cut diagnosis of what exactly happened. From what I've seen, from what I've been told, it doesn't look like people were able to exactly pinpoint where they were because they were on the far side. So it's difficult to say what exactly happened. If it was non-contact, if it was contact, no one really knows to this point. So the idea of speculating that the season is over because Justin Fields is lost for the year, I think is a little premature at this point. But it's hard to ignore. You bring in Aaron Rodgers 2 years ago. Day 4 plays into his debut, he gets lost for the season, and the entire era blows up in his face. Now you're trying to do things the right way, and by all accounts, they did things the right way this offseason, getting a bridge quarterback to sort of build through. And here we are again, 2 days into training camp, and the starting quarterback is dealing with an injury. It really is an issue, and just insane to think about just 2 days into the start of training camp.
It's just impossible to fathom that this happened this quickly. It's just, you cannot make it up. Like, it's impossible to believe this happened here. God, it's. I don't know what to say, Nick.
I just want to preface: we have no idea if this was not a non-contact. We have no idea if this was contact. This very well could be a case where rolled his ankle. Maybe it's a sprain. Maybe it's this. But at the very least, it's important to remember not to just throw random things out there and say, oh, it's definitely an Achilles. It's definitely this. It's definitely that. We have no idea. No one currently knows what is happening, at least at this point. We have to be patient to see what's going to happen in the future.
You cannot make this up. You just, I mean, I mean, he spoke yesterday. He's talking about his big goals and everything, and just for this to happen, I mean,
I've never seen
speechless.
anything like this. I've never seen anything like this in sports where a team has a thought process. They try to build it, go for a championship, go all in, and it blows up in their face. And then 2 years later, after it blowing up in their face, they try again to do it the right way, and they are still punished for, I don't really know. I think that's the only way to put it. Somewhere, somehow, the football gods just do not like Jet fans, and it really is shocking to me that these kinds of things can happen because, again, this isn't like in the middle of the dog days of August. This isn't like right before the regular season. This is 2 days into camp. The pads aren't on yet. You still have to go through the period where I believe it's 5 days before you actually put on pads, and here we are talking about the Jets starting quarterback being hurt. It's incredible.
It's just it's unreal. And look, we don't know the severity of it. I understand that. They got to add a quarterback, though, that has had some significant playing time in this league if it's a serious injury here to Fields. You can't go into the year with Tyrod with his history of injuries, and either Adrian Martinez or Brady Cook. They need to make a trade for Jameis Winston. I'd start there. They need to call the Falcons about Kirk Cousins. They need to add someone with starting experience in this league. You can't go into the year with Tyrod and either Adrian Martinez or a UDFA and Brady Cook behind them.
Yeah, it would make a lot of sense. And, there's still some free agent quarterbacks that are going to be available. If the team is interested, maybe they throw an outlier on Kirk Cousins. Maybe you sit and see what happens with the Browns quarterback room. Whoever ends up losing that battle could be an acquisition. But again, very, very early in the process. This very well could just be a sprain and he's out for a couple of weeks. It's difficult right now to predict what's going to happen until we get more information.
It's sickening. It's sickening. This is sickening.
It's sickening, shocking, and all the words that you can describe. I'm not really sure how this happens 2 days into camp.
It's unreal. Look, they're saying it's a non-contact injury, so no one hit him. Something happened on a pass here. There's only a couple scenarios that happen when you drop back.
Yeah, and again, I'm not there, so I'm reading the tweets just as everyone else, and it sounded like he was rolling out. Whether it was that he stepped the wrong way, did something this, did something that. They're on grass. I think that's the other important thing. They're on grass. It's not like it was turf and something gives out like that. So maybe that helps him out a little bit. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not a doctor. I don't want to, again, speculate. It's just, it's not good. It's not good.
Here's the story from Samini on ESPN. Justin Fields was carted off the practice field Thursday morning with an apparent lower leg injury. Fields pulled up after rolling right and throwing an incomplete short pass to tight end Jeremy Ruckert. Fields went down, sat on ground briefly, and limped off the field with the assistance of a trainer. He spent a few minutes in the injury tent before a cart arrived on the scene. Fields was taken into the locker room, sitting in the passenger seat of the cart before walking into the team facility. Fields, who signed a 2-year, $40 million contract as a free agent, is the Jets' undisputed starter. Tyrod Taylor replaced him in team drills.
We're not going to know more until Glenn speaks, and I doubt that we'll know more. I doubt that we'll learn a lot because I'm sure the doctors are still working with them. They're going through everything, every test and everything. But until that time, we're just going to have to sit and wait, unfortunately, for that news to break.
This is just pathetic. If you're watching right now, please subscribe to the channel. We'll go live when Aaron Glenn speaks coming up here in what's supposed to be about 10 minutes and see if we get any information. So make sure you guys are locked in. Hit the like button if you're one of the 500 people in here right now. It's just unreal. Super chat from Rex Ryan. Same old Jets. Austrian Jet fan, this team deserves a QB1. This fan base deserves it. It's unreal, man. Anytime you try to have some hope, and it's just new regime, Aaron Glenn, you're trying to believe with this training camp, and then on day 2, this happens. It's unreal. It's unreal. Dan says, trade for Cousins. I mean, look, he's one of the options you have to consider. I mean, I'd start with Jameis Winston. He's the third quarterback there after they drafted Dart. But, man, Y2K Bean says, Jets are the black man in America. Devastation after devastation. Unbelievable. I'm not going to go there, Y2K Bean, but I will say being a Jet fan sucks. And this is another example of it. It's unreal.
Never ends. Never ends.
Indy Jets. What's Christian Hagenberg doing these days? God. I mean, this really only happens to the Jets, though. Like the people realize that. Like non-Jet fans out there, do they realize what we go through? The BS.
I've never seen anything like this. And granted, my fandom aside, I've never seen a team go through these kind of injuries. Just the freak moments that happen throughout team history is just insanity to me. I mean, 4 plays into Aaron Rodgers' debut, he goes down with an injury. When everyone was looking and everyone was talking about the aura of that building that day, and now day 2, like these injuries do not happen in day 2 of camp. That's the insane part of this. This wasn't with pads on. This wasn't on turf. This was on grass in practice without pads on. Insane. Absolutely insane.
If you're watching live right now, we are awaiting Aaron Glenn's press conference when he is supposed to talk to the media and will update us, hopefully, on something with Fields. I mean, it's just, it's unreal. It's unreal.
Yeah, it really is. Jake, I'm sorry. I got to get going, buddy.
Nick, appreciate you hopping on, man.
Appreciate it.
Nick Faria, he was not at camp today, but covers the Jets. So wanted to get his initial thoughts. Everyone who we would normally have on to talk about this is at camp right now. So we're waiting. I mean, that's all we know right now. We are waiting for Justin Fields' injury update, hopefully coming from Aaron Glenn. Scott says, Packer fan here. Jet fans don't deserve this. No, we don't. It's just, I mean, like the expectations were as low as they could be this year. But like the one thing that, like, if you wanted to try and like believe this team could be better than what the outside win total projections are, it was, hey, there is talent on this team. And Justin Fields is talented in his own right. And if you have the right coaching with him, maybe he could take a step forward like we've seen other guys. But I mean, like, if you told me Tyrod would start and be healthy for 17 games, I'd say, okay, like, he's not a bad quarterback necessarily, but he's not going to be healthy. He's just not. It's just unreal. Here are the top free agent quarterbacks, by the way. Carson Wentz is the most notable. Teddy Bridgewater is a name to watch because he obviously was with Engstrand and Glenn in Detroit. Now, I don't know what Bridgewater has left. My gut tells me not much. Teddy Bridgewater just got like suspended from like his high school coaching job. So I don't know what his plans are, if he even will want in the NFL. But he's only 32. It's not like he's that old. So that's maybe a name to watch. I would try and get Jameis Winston. Because Jameis Winston has no role on the Giants. He's the backup to Russell Wilson, but then they drafted Dart, and Dart is going to leapfrog Winston when they go from Russ to a different quarterback if the Giants are out of it. And if you look at the Giants' schedule, they're going to be out of it soon. Tony says, I'll take my chance with Tyrod over that list. I get it. Tyrod will start over any of these quarterbacks you see on the screen. But you need to add someone. You can't go into the year with Adrian Martinez or Brady Cook being one play away from having to come in. And if you know anything about Tyrod Taylor, he always has to come in. And then he gets hurt when he has to come in. So then someone else is going to come in for Tyrod. And then you're on your third. You can't. You can't. It's the second day of training camp. How is this the conversation, man? It doesn't end with this franchise. It does not end. Oh my God, disgusting. God. I'm scrolling Twitter trying to get updates. Glenn is now currently scheduled for 10:30. So they pushed Glenn back now. They better have an update for us. We'll take some of your calls here. Hit the like button. You know, the cruel thing is this show was going to be about what Fields said about his goals yesterday, and I was going to give away this Justin Fields jersey, but we can't do a giveaway today right now. We can't. If you gift the membership, though, you will be entered in our weekly raffle. A Joe Namath signed helmet is the top prize. We had a Fields helmet in there, but if it's the worst injury, we'll swap it for a different prize. But if you want in on our raffle on Monday for at least the Namath helmet and some other prizes coming, make sure you gift a channel membership. I'll tell you one of them. I'll swap a Fields helmet for a signed Sauce jersey. So try and do a fun giveaway despite how we're feeling right now. Bino writes in, I wanted Jameis all along. Sign Wentz for nothing. Roll with Tyrod and Wentz. Draft a quarterback in 26. I mean, they're definitely drafting a quarterback in 26 if Fields is out for a while. Because neither Tyrod or Wentz are your long-term answers. And can I stop seeing the stuff about Arch Manning? He's not coming out. It's just sickening. All right, let's do some calls here as we react to this bullshit. Jason's up first. Hello, Jason.
Jake, sending you a virtual hug. Looks like you could use one today, buddy.
It's unreal, man. It's just like it doesn't stop. It just doesn't end.
Yeah, I'm totally. The only time I could remember getting good injury news was when Pennington 1 year got injured in training camp and ended up only being like a 5-6 week injury. Other than that, everything has just been brutal. Like at one point, that injury, I believe they thought might have been season ending and ended up only being a few weeks. But I'm thinking the worst right now. If Vegas hasn't updated their odds, go bet the under. And I just hope they don't do something stupid, because the reason the Giants held on to Jameis Winston and the reason Cleveland still holds on to Pickett and Flacco is because they know that this is a team that's going to lose a quarterback and willing to pay a premium for these players. You're not going to win that many extra games with these guys. You're not contending for a Super Bowl this year with one of these guys. Don't trade a second for them. And obviously they're going to ask for a premium price. What would you actually give up for a Cousins or for a Jameis in a trade?
Day 3 pick, conditional pick. Maybe it could turn into something if they play well, whatever that criteria would be.
Yeah.
I mean, Jameis is on a 1 year deal, right? So it's not going to cost a ton to get him. You're probably talking about like a 5th round pick.
Yeah, but I'm just remembering what Philly did holding on to Stan Bradford after they got Carson Wentz and were able to get a 1st round pick back out of it.
Yeah, that's
and
not
when right, but even the Rams said that when Trent Green had went down and they were looking, every team wanted a 2nd round pick for any scrub that they had. The quarterback market is going to be a buyer. It's a seller's market, and if you have something to sell, you could charge a premium for it. And looking at it now, I do not want to mortgage next year for a quarterback that's Kirk Cousins, who I consider to be in what I call an Antarctica 10. He looks beautiful because he's the only thing available to you.
Yeah, look, no one's talking about mortgaging the future, Jason, but they got to add a fucking quarterback, with all due respect.
Right,
so,
but I'm not giving up a 3rd for him or anything greater than a 3rd.
I don't think it would be anything greater than a 3rd. I don't know where you're getting that information from. Look at the contract that Cousins is on and look at his age. Like you're not giving up a 2nd round pick for Kirk Cousins.
I'm saying the GMs in this situation know that they could hold it hostage, and they try to get a good return.
The Jets won't do the deal.
That's why I don't see the Jets making a deal.
I think
I don't see them making a trade
deal or sign a quarterback. It depends how they evaluate Carson Wentz versus Kirk Cousins for a 5th, or Jameis Winston for a 5th or a 4th. They need to add someone. You can't go into the year with just Tyrod and no one else with starting experience behind him.
I agree with you. I agree with that. But like I said, there comes the limit as to what you're willing to pay for that. Wentz obviously comes with his own baggage. There's a reason why nobody wants him in terms of his inability to change the play, constantly going for the tight ends. That's why Joe Douglas didn't even go for him when Rodgers went out. There's something about Carson Wentz that the teams know about and
I don't know
refuse
about
to go
that.
after him.
I think Joe Douglas didn't go after him because he wanted to try and once again force Zach Wilson down our throats. I thought that Zach could be the guy. He didn't want to give up on the number 2 pick in the draft that he tied his future to in hindsight.
The reason Philly got rid of Wentz is because even if they called a play for the running back, he was going to the tight end. It was known that Wentz just went rogue every play and just didn't care how it was called, things like that.
The model franchise in football the last 7-8 years, Kansas City had Carson Wentz back up Patrick Mahomes. So if Andy Reid could do it, then I think Aaron Glenn can make a call to Carson Wentz if they deem him as the top available option.
And yet they chose not to bring him back this year.
Well,
that should also say
backup
something.
Right now.
You want to look it up or should I look it up? I have no idea.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you just say, oh, they didn't bring it back. But maybe they upgraded at the position.
Well, who's an upgrade over him for backup quarterback?
I don't know. I also don't care enough right now because I don't even want Carson Wentz, Jason. Fire Aaron Glenn. Fire Aaron Glenn. This is his fault. Yeah, okay. Connor Long. Richardson at this point, at least he has upside. I don't think the Colts would trade you, Anthony Richardson. Why would they get rid of him? So they could start Daniel Jones? They invested too much in Anthony Richardson. They're going to see it through for at least this year. Where's Gardner Minshew right now? He's a name I'd be interested in, maybe. Seems like he always plays well when he has to get thrusted into a starting role. Oh, he's the Chiefs' backup. Okay, so that's why they moved on from Wentz. Minshew's a way better backup than Wentz at this point. Our last caller, Jason, I agree with the premise. Yes, you're not going to mortgage your future for any of these quarterbacks we're batting around, but that's not what it would take to get any of these guys. That's just not happening. Glenn's going to talk at 10:30. We're going to carry it live on the show. If you're one of the 700-plus people in here right now, hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I am on the radio today from 1 to 3. I'm filling in for Michael Kay on ESPN New York, so I'm sure by then we'll have maybe more on Justin Fields. So I'll be talking plenty of Jets on the radio, and then I'm back around 4 today on the YouTube show for our normal second show on the day. But, I mean, you can hear me today on ESPN New York from 1 to 3. Download the ESPN New York app if you want to listen live. Dan says, rather it be on July 24th than 4 plays in the week 1. Well, you have enough time now to add someone, but you're not like the whole premise of the year was, do you have something in Justin Fields? In reality, you probably don't. He's probably not your long-term answer, but you wanted to find that out. And he at least was the only guy, once you decided to move on from Aaron Rodgers, that was a guy you could point to with the potential to be the long-term guy. None of the other guys out there do that. They don't. Y2K, this is what we get for not drafting Sanders. I can't believe this. I was letting Fields rock out, and I had an inch of belief. God, protect my team. I mean, it's just, it's cruel. It's sickening. I'm good on not drafting, on passing on Shedeur, though. I'm okay with that. I'm not going to criticize the Jets for that. It would be hypocritical to take Shedeur Sanders when you said that you wanted to move on from Aaron Rodgers because of everything that comes with it. And you're going to take Shedeur, really? He's already gotten, what, like 2 speeding tickets since he's been in Cleveland? Jake, my heart is broken. This is why picking Sanders doesn't sound that crazy anymore. We need a trade. We need something now. Well, the first thing they need, Lou, is to figure out what is the injury, right? Like right now, we don't know what the injury is. All we know is, for those just tuning in, the Jets had Justin Fields in the first play of 11 on 11. He dropped back, suffered some sort of non-contact injury, and that was it. We don't know anything beyond that. Until we have more information, we don't know. Tyrod Taylor apparently just made a great throw to Garrett Wilson, who beat Sauce Gardner on a back shoulder. 20-plus yards in the air. Tyrod, when he's protected, a.k.a. he can't get hurt, he is competent. He's always been competent. That's why he's been in the league so long. He just can't stay on the field. Here's the latest from The Athletic. I'm going to read their story that Zach Rosenblatt just posted. New York Jets quarterback Justin Fields left training camp on a cart Thursday after he dropped to the ground following an incomplete pass during 11-on-11 drills. He initially walked off the field to the medical tent with a heavy limp before being driven inside to the locker room. A team doctor spoke to general manager Darren Muji as Fields was being taken inside. The team has not yet provided an injury update, though head coach Aaron Glenn will speak after practice. Veteran Tyrod Taylor is the Jets' backup quarterback. New York also has a couple others, including Adrian Martinez and undrafted rookie Brady Cook, without any NFL game experience. The story will be updated. I mean, it is sickening what is happening here, folks. There's no other way to say it. Glenn talking in about 15 minutes. I'm going to stay on and at least hear from the head coach. But this is about as bad of a start to training camp as you could have so far. Without knowing anything else, this is just brutal. J-Mall says, I have zero desire to root for Winston after the stuff he's been accused of. I get it. I'm not going to tell you who you should root for, but it seems like teammates and coaches love Jameis, and he's done a lot to restore his reputation. Also, the people calling me right now, I'm on the air. Yes, I know what happened to Justin Fields. You don't need to tell me. I know what happened. I talk about this team in late June and July when there's nothing happening. Believe me, when the guy they gave $40 million to replace Aaron Rodgers gets hurt on the first play of team drills on the second practice of the season, I know what happened. So don't tell me. Ridiculous. You see what happened to Fields? Ugh. Yeah, I saw what happened to Fields. Unreal. Just enough. It never ends with this franchise. I hate that this constantly continues to happen. It's unreal. Bang says, the meltdown came sooner than I thought. Bang, you have a great day. We will see you later. I'm not dealing with your nonsense. I'm sure you're thrilled that the Jets starting quarterback got hurt. I'm sure it warms you up inside, makes you all fuzzy. See you later. You're gone. I'm not dealing with it. No one has any patience. No one has any patience for your nonsense.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
Unreal. Unreal. Jake Browning. It's such a joke. Such a joke. Big Islander fan writes in, I try not to be so pessimistic, but then I remember it's the Jets, so I can only think the worst, hope and pray for the best for the young man. Once again, until we know what the injury is, it's all just speculation right now. But you just don't see this on the second day of camp. You don't. Also, I'd be remiss, speaking of injuries, good luck to Purple Belt Mike today. He's undergoing his ACL surgery. Sent us this picture this morning. Him and PBW, Purple Belt wife, by his side. We thought Mike sacrificed his ACL so no Jets would get injured. And, well, here we go. Day 2 of practice. First play of teams. And the starting quarterback has already been carted off the field. It's unreal. Hopefully it's nothing. I mean, that's it. Hopefully it's nothing. Y2K Bean says, call Colin Kaepernick, please, football gods. Y2K, congratulations on the dumbest set of comments that we've seen today so far. Your day is done.
Son of a bitch! You lousy, cheating little shit!
Kaepernick has not played in the NFL since what, 2016? What is he, like 36, 37 years old? We're going to bring up Colin Kaepernick as an option in 2025? Get lost. Eli says, let's switch up the vibe. AG will tell us it's a 2-week injury, and hopefully that's the worst of it. Remember, we're built for this shit. If it's not serious, the only positive of something like this is that if it is going to happen and it's not serious and it's a couple weeks, there's enough time to have a couple-week injury and still Fields could come back and get a lot of reps. You know what I mean? So if it's not serious and it's only a couple weeks, right, an ankle, whatever it is, then, yeah, it's not, doomsday. But if he has to miss all of training camp and it carries over into the regular season, even if it's not season ending, he needs the reps. Philly Noodle says, Jake, check Dennis Wazak Jr. on X, Fields off cart. I read that tweet aloud before. Right now, guys, we got like 1,000 people watching live right now, and I'm the only one that works on the show full time. So I'm scrolling Twitter, trying to pull the latest tweets and be able to read the super chats and take the calls here. So be a little patient with me, and I promise if there is an update, we will get it to you as quickly as possible. And unfortunately, I can't stay on as long as normal because I'm on from 1 to 3 today on ESPN New York. But I promise we're talking plenty of Jets from 1 to 3. Kyle Clifton writes in with a $10 super chat. Like most viewers, I want to know what Beast thinks about this injury. I think he'll bring perspective and the appropriate solemnity. It's too big of a word for me, Kyle. It's too early for this. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. I do agree with that. Beast, what do you think of the injury here, apparently, to Justin Fields?
Well, I would say right now 5 to 6 weeks. And if the Jets were smart enough, go get those bags of ice. Like I said back in January, you're going to need it. 5 to 6 weeks, you let him soak in that ice. That ice will help. You'll get that circulation back into that foot. But after that ice is healed, he's going to need a boot. And that boot will protect that foot because we're not going to have another incident like we had back in 2023. I will not sell it again. Bottom line, we're going to get smarter and we're going to play and wiser. So, boys, get the bags of ice and get Justin Fields the best treatment on this planet. If not, I'll take the goddamn shot and I'll fucking break my back.
Beast, thank you very much for the time. More calls here. Joey Jet is up next. Do got open phone lines for anyone who wants in. We'll go live to Glenn as soon as he starts speaking. What's up, Joey?
Oh, my God. Wow. I logged in. I had time to call in today, and I get this news. I don't know, man. I feel you. I feel you. Hopefully it's not bad. Let's be realistic. Tyrod Taylor can be a good quarterback, but he can't stay healthy. That's his problem. If, like you said, if you can tell me 17 games with a healthy Tyrod, yeah, I think we have a shot at a wild card because he's good, but he can't stay healthy. I would love to get Jameis if we can get Jameis in here. If hopefully the Giants don't try to ask for too much. I don't know. Carson Wentz. Oh dear God. Oh, I don't know, man. Let's just hope that Justin is not hurt bad. But yeah, this is the trying times of a Jet fan, man. What are you gonna do? This is our team, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like any of the free agents out there. If Fields is gone for the year, go after Winston or Cousins. I think those are the best legit shots. and have them back up Tyrod and just go from there. You can't quit. You can't walk away. What can you do? You know. But I would also say to all the Jet fans out there and the Jet fans that are watching this show, please stop with the dumbass comments. Fire AG and all this dumb. Come on, man. I get it. You're upset. You're mad. Don't say stupid shit. Come on. That just adds to it. Let's just, all we can do is just right now is just wait and see, and hopefully it's good news. Hopefully it's not something major. Didn't they say that he walked off the cart when they got to when it took him to the facility, he was able to walk off? Hopefully that's a good sign.
Look, you hope it's, a sprained ankle and he's out a couple weeks, right? Or something that's not anything that's going to seriously impact his ability to play regular season games. Because at this point, there's enough time if it's that where you could survive something like this. But if it's the worst case scenario, like it's a death blow to the season in all likelihood. I mean, it's just brutal.
Yeah, I mean, all we can do is hope for the best. Sprained ankle, miss a couple weeks. All right, that we could deal with that. It might hold up his development a little bit, but right now that's best case scenario. Or maybe he only misses a week or two. I don't know. I've sprained an ankle and it hurts and it's really hard to walk on it, but within a week or so you're okay. And I'm not a professional athlete. So, hopefully that's what it is for him. Other than that, man, we just got to, keep the faith. I know it's hard. It's okay to be pissed. It's okay to yell and scream like you did. I feel you, Jake. I feel you. Believe me, I've been doing this for 45 years, man. But what are you going to do? You got to stick with it. And hopefully he'll be all right. If we have to roll with Tyrod, if we can get somebody solid behind him, I like our chances. But let's just hope that he's okay and it's nothing serious.
Let us hope. Let us pray. I mean, I don't know, Joey. I appreciate your attempt at positivity there. But right now we are awaiting Aaron Glenn. He's supposed to speak in 7 minutes, but practice just ended, so it wouldn't shock me if he's up there a little earlier. But we got the stream ready, and we'll hear from Aaron Glenn as soon as he starts talking, because all that matters is what he says about Fields. That's it. Gio with a super chat. If it's not serious, get him on the VR headset ASAP. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a new offense. What concerns you with a quarterback like Fields, say it is an ankle. If that impacts his mobility this season, that's a major, major issue because the offense is built around his superpower, his ability to run. Mixed in with, hey, you hope that chemistry with Garrett Wilson he had at Ohio State comes back and he takes another step as a passer and he's got Mason Taylor to throw it to, and you have Brees out of the backfield and you could design an offense that mixes in a lot of play action. The Lions led the NFL in play action last year. Hangstrain's going to bring a lot of that with him. But this is just disgusting. Unreal. C says, let's not jump the gun yet. Praying for J7. Rick Ken, is the practice field turf or grass? It's grass. It's grass. Unbelievable. Hex writes in, how am I supposed to raise my kids around this cursed team? They don't deserve this. It's just, I got nothing for you. I don't know. Being a Jet fan is sickening. Carl says, should have drafted McCord. Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, knowing that Jordan Travis was going to be retiring because he wasn't healthy, and the Jets knew that, now obviously, pending this Fields injury, yeah, it sucks that they didn't take a quarterback, just so we had something to try and be like, at least we have this guy that we could see. Brady Cook or Adrian Martinez are not your long-term answer. They're not. I don't care how positive you want to be, they're not. They stink. Let's be real. Darth Crypto says, I'm just depressed at this point. You should be. I got nothing positive to say, all right? The last couple of years, I've already zapped any positivity I had. And now this. Aaron Glenn, you still built for it?
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
We're going to find out. Here's the only piece of positivity I could try and come up with. The last time the Jets had a quarterback that suffered a serious injury in training camp, they won 10 games. That's the only piece of positivity I could give you. The last time the Jets had their projected starter suffer an injury that kept them out of regular season games in camp was 2015 when Geno got punched out by IK Menapali. Fitz took over, and he had the greatest single season besides probably Vinny in 98 a Jet quarterback's had. Right? Broke the Jet touchdown record, all that. Only to then play like crap in week 17 against Rex and the Bills, but Dan with a super chat. I know we're all upset, but keep the faith as hard as it is, but also pray for Justin. My heart breaks for him if it's bad. Think about all he's been through. This was it for him. JF7. Let's go, Jets. Yeah, I feel for Fields, but you know what? I feel for us as Jet fans. We just went through this with Aaron Rodgers. It's just like the Jet fan can never, ever get a break. Once again, we are awaiting Aaron Glenn's press conference. We will take it live as soon as he starts talking. If you're one of the 1,100 people in here, thank you, thank you, thank you. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 42,000 subs. I talk Jets each and every day, twice a day, 4 hours a day of Jet talk. So if you're a Jet fan, this is the place for you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and be part of the show. Appreciate the best fans in sports still being here because we're always going to be here. Oregon Jets with a super chat. Timu, Jalen Hurts got hurt. Now win 3 instead of 4. I mean, if this is your actual take, I feel sorry for you. Uh-oh. Is Glenn talking? Here we go. All right. Presser starting soon. Buckle up. Pray for good news. Here
Good morning. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and knock this out now. Obviously, Tyrod went down with a toe injury on his right, on the right side. But Justin went down with toe injury on the right side of his foot. Listen, I don't know the severity of the injury, but I do know it's a toe on his right side. And listen, we have an outstanding backup in Tyrod, who's been in this league for around 14 years. So the leadership that he brings, listen, we're all good. We're all good. So. I thought today's practice was really good, especially for the defense. The defense came out energized because they know that the offense kind of took it to them yesterday. All right, so the defense came out and did a really good job. And, again, we're going to our third day, going tomorrow, and that'll be good. You know what? I really have to look at the tape. I know it's a quick throw. I'm assuming someone stepped on his toe. It had to be because of the nature of the call that we had as far as offensive play call. So, again, I want to look at the tape and be sure.
I'm assuming it's the big toe.
I can't say that. Okay. You know, I just know it's the toe on the right side.
Okay. And he's going for an MRI, I would assume?
Well, I'm going to let the doctors get ready to tell me that right after I get ready to leave here.
Obviously, it's been a youth movement around here.
Yep.
And, you know, Tyrod Taylor is an older veteran. Outside of his experience, just what did you like about him and wanted to, you know, decide to keep him on the roster?
Well, I think the most important part is if anything does happen to Justin, I don't think there's any drop-off as far as what we want to do when it comes to play call. Very similar when you talked about skill set. So that was like enticing for us. And, man, the leadership ability, the things that we heard about him, I played against him before, and you could just tell the players really gravitate to him. When he says something, everybody really listens, even the coaching staff. Because he's been around this league a long time, and he knows what it takes to win. And he's a really good person. So, like, we're all excited to have that guy here. Listen, Justin is who he is. And if something happens to him, we got Tower and we're ready to go.
Did you get a chance to speak to him, or did you just come right?
Say it again.
Did you get a chance to speak to Justin, or did you just come?
No, man. Once it went down, the medical staff went and took him. Then we continued practice.
When you see him limp off, or you see the trainers talking to him, is he starting quarterback? You guys have had a lot of plans for him. Is there a lump in your throat as the head coach? What's the feeling?
When anybody goes down, there's a lump in my throat. Listen, I hate injuries for any player. But the thing is, I want to make sure that I understand exactly what the injury is before I move forward on my thought process. Here's the thing, guys. Listen, last year, and you guys know this, is I went through a situation last year with Detroit where Hutch goes down, Anzalone goes down, Elaine McNeil goes down. Man, you keep playing football. And that's just what it is. And I've said this several times, and our players know this. It's more about the play style than the playbook. And our players understand that we're going to play a certain way, no matter who's in there. And that's what we're going to do. And our players got confidence with anybody that's in there because of the way that I'll talk to them, because of the way that we're built. So we're going to keep moving. No matter what the situation is, no matter what happens with any player that gets hurt, man, we got to keep moving. This league is not going to stop just because of injuries. And trust me, I know that firsthand.
Seeing anybody get carted off the quarterback is going to be sort of an energy sap for the team. How do you think they responded after that?
Say it again.
How do you think the team responded to players, after watching their quarterback?
Well, here's what I told the players is, and it really goes into competition. When you win a rep, I want to see you consistently win. And when you lose a rep, I want to see if you can come back and win. And to me, when you look at practice, I thought the defense did a really good job of winning reps early in practice. But then after that, man, the offense started to pick it up. So when Tyra went down, I actually saw the offense really start to pick it up, because of the fact that I want to make sure that I hit them on, listen, we lost the rep, let's keep going. It had nothing to do with the injury or anything like that. It's just what we want to be when we lose the rep, we want to win the next one.
We're watching Aaron Glenn's press conference. He said Fields suffered a toe injury. They don't know the severity yet. This is live right now after practice.
To be scuffling today.
Yeah.
Why did you guys decide to go on the younger route at that position, and what do you need to see from them during training camp to have confidence in them in a real game?
Just consistency, for the most part. And listen, this is early in camp, so I'm not going to sit and go crazy over the first day of our guys kicking. Listen, they're both good kickers. We saw what they did in college. We saw what they did in the other football league, and they did a good job. So, listen, I'm not about to just panic over first day. Those guys, I'm going to talk to those guys, and listen, we're going to keep swinging at it, and we'll pick the best one.
How do you feel about the depth behind Tyrod and Justin with Adrian and Brady and what they've shown you so far?
As far as the quarterback position,
the quarterbacks, yeah.
Listen, Adrian has played a lot of football. He's actually been in this system because we had him in Detroit. Brady was a guy that did a lot of successful things in college. So, listen, they're young guys, right? And we know that, and we have to get those guys up to speed. So, it's hard to really say until we get more practices in. So I'll let you know that once we get more in.
With Jermaine Johnson, obviously he's on PUP, but what's his training camp going to look like in terms of when he could get back on the field?
Listen, we want to bring him in at the right time, and we don't want to rush that player in. And we have a plan for him. And that's something that between me, Zuff, Mooj, and himself that we'll continue to talk about. Listen, I told him it's not about week one. It's not about week two. It's about the longevity of his career. And we want to make sure that we do a good job and make sure we do that with him. And I tell it to every player, that's coming back from an injury. We have a plan for him. We want to make sure we follow protocol to make sure that plan works.
Are you still optimistic that he would be available for week one?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But the thing is, we're going to put the work in and make sure he's going to be right to go play.
Aaron, we just saw two examples of how you guys lock up players with Sauce and Garrett
Yep.
who you think are going to be foundational pieces. Can Barrett Tucker be a foundational piece for you guys? The former first-round draft pick had some injuries but plays the whole year last year.
Man, he's a great player. And hopefully at some point we can start to talk and try to get something done. But absolutely he is. I mean, he's one of those guards that can do a lot as far as run off the ball, as far as pass protect. He's a big, strong man that has been critical for how we want to play offensive football. So, but absolutely he's one of those guys. Yeah.
We're watching Aaron Glenn's presser
Had a
here.
really good day today.
Justin Fields
He
suffered
did,
toe
and
injury,
I was
severity
proud of him.
unknown. Glenn
there's
talking
things
right
that
now.
we have to work on when it comes to him playing the ball, and he understands that. But the competitive part of him, it was evident today, and that's what we want from all of our corners. I mean, you even see Sauce; he made some plays on the ball too. So, but Brandon Stevens there, he really stood out as far as coverage. And then when the ball didn't even go to his man, you still saw the coverage ability with him. So I'm excited about that player. He has some things he has to work on, and we're going to continue to work with him.
Take a couple more.
Yep.
Just as he's sort of adjusting here to a new system and this new environment, just what have you noticed from him a few years removed from when you last saw him?
I would say the environment is new, but the system is not as new because he's been around it, and he's been huge as far as the communication with the other receivers on, man, this is what we're trying to create. And that is a valuable thing to me and to Tanner, that we have a guy that's been a part of it, that understands every detail within this system has got to be on point. So, yes, the environment is different, but when it comes to what we do, what we're about, he understands exactly what we're trying to do.
He's been in a couple of different systems like last year since he was in Detroit. Is that like a switch that you can just kind of flip on with remembering how things work in Detroit?
Say that again?
With Josh having played in like a different system
Yeah.
since Detroit, is that just like a switch you can flip on as far as remembering the ins and outs of the system? Have you kind of noticed that?
Well, he's a veteran player, and usually when you go through different systems, what really changes is the terminology. Everyone runs an out, everyone runs a curl, everyone runs a slant, but people call it different. The thing is, he's been in the system, he's been a part of this terminology, so once he got back here, it was easy for him. So, again, he's a player that's been in the system, he's a veteran guy, and he's helping our young guys understand exactly what we're trying to do.
You talked yesterday
Yep.
about how you kind of understand the psyche of the Jets fans. And
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people right now out there reading tweets and seeing that Justin went down and going, oh my God, here we go again.
That's me. That's me, Glenn. That's 1,100 people watching this right now. Speak to us.
Because I've been there and done that. And again, I just talked about what we did in Detroit. And it becomes a mentality. For the
You didn't
most
lose
part.
golf in Detroit. This is
And
different.
Thing that I have to do is make sure that I can transition that mentality to everybody else. And I understand how this league is. And I understand how social media starts to take over and everybody starts to panic. And the one thing I would say is, listen, we have a number of men in that locker room that wants to win. And we have a number of men that's in that locker room that's learning how to win. And it's my job to make sure that I push that over the edge. And that's my plan. That's the plan. And again, listen, I understand the outside noise. And again, like I said yesterday, I understand how the fans went. I will understand what you guys go through. But it's really early. It's really early. And we have a lot of time. So we're going to focus on that. We're going to focus on every day. And we're going to focus on what we do on the grass. And that's going to take care of everything we need.
Thanks, everybody.
I feel bad for Aaron Glenn. He's put in a brutal, brutal spot immediately. Here's what we know. Justin Fields suffered a toe injury. The severity is unknown. I'm sure he'll get an MRI. Just because it's a toe and it's not, ACL or Achilles, right? That doesn't mean it's not serious. A toe injury could be incredibly serious. Plus, if this is something that lingers, that affects Fields' ability to potentially rush, and that's his strength. For those just tuning in, that was Glenn moments ago just speaking. This was the beginning when he updated everyone when the first question, of course, was, what is the latest on Justin Fields, who was carted off with a non-contact injury during the first play of 11-on-11s during the Jets' second practice of training camp.
Justin went down with toe in the right side of his foot. Listen, I don't know the severity of the injury, but I do know it's a toe on his right side. And listen, we have an outstanding backup in Tyrod, who's been in this league for around 14 years. So the leadership that he brings, listen, we're all good. We're all good. So.
I mean, look, he has to say that as the coach, and Tyrod is a good backup. The problem is, if he has to play a lot, he's not gonna stay healthy. They need to add a quarterback. And look, we don't know the severity yet, but just because it's a toe doesn't mean we're out of the woods here. It's better than an Achilles or ACL, right? It still could be a very serious injury. Also, props to the Jets for figuring out their audio on day 2. At least we got that right. We might not have a quarterback anymore, but at least we got the press conference audio right. Toe injury. Aaron Glenn indicated in the press conference there that someone might have stepped on his foot accidentally. Hopefully it is something that is not as severe as the worst case scenario. If he has to miss a couple weeks, there are a couple weeks until the season starts. They need to add a quarterback. Here are the free agent options. They suck, FYI. Carson Wentz, C.J. Beathard, Teddy Bridgewater, Jeff Driscoll, Tyler Huntley, Mike White, Ben DiNucci, Jaron Hall, Logan Whiteside. I didn't realize Mike White is unsigned. I would obviously be okay with bringing him in. I'm pretty sure Mike White is the number 3 on the Bills, though. Is he really unsigned? I'll double check that right now because this list that I saw online might not be 100% accurate. The name I would go after immediately is Jameis Winston. The Giants, when they signed Winston, it was unclear if they were going to be able to get a quarterback they liked in the NFL draft. They obviously were able to get Jackson Dart. Winston was running with the 3s yesterday at Giants camp. Not because Dart has already passed him, because Dart needs reps. There's no role for Jameis Winston on the Giants. It's going to go Russell Wilson, and then if the Giants stink, it's then going to go Jackson Dart getting the opportunity to play out the stretch. So I would call the Giants and see if I could get Jameis Winston for a day 3 draft pick. And maybe you could recreate the Ryan Fitzpatrick 2015 season. Mike White, by the way, is the number 3 on the Bills. So ignore Mike White's name being here. I don't know how accurate some of the names on this list are. That's where I would start. Couple super chats, and then we'll get to your calls. Hit the like button if you're tuned in right now. I also want to just shout out Jet fans. We are the biggest Jet channel, and we had 300 plus more people watching us react to Glenn than the Jets' actual YouTube channel themselves. So thank you to everyone, despite this debacle, for still helping this channel continue to grow, and we'll be here for you every step of the way. Reality Jock says, why wasn't Glenn handling Fields with Kidmans? This is just an asinine comment. If someone stepped on his toe, that could happen on any play. That happened to Rodgers 2 years ago, too, in training camp. And people freaked out, but he was okay. Uno Jets, just tune in, WTF. I think that's how a lot of people feel. Hennessy Heisman, I would cut off my toe for this team. Yeah, I think I would too. Honestly. Willie says, trade for Shador or Winston. The Browns aren't going to trade you Shador, nor do I want him. That doesn't make any sense. Jameis Winston would be my top target. Kirk Cousins as well, depending on what it costs. The first person to gift the channel membership today is Phantom Green and White. Thank you, Phantom Green and White. We appreciate you. You're in our Joe Namath helmet raffle for 1 raffle ticket. We were going to give away a Fields helmet, but if he's out seriously, I'll swap it for a different prize. Signed Sauce Gardner jersey will be swapped in its place. Just brutal. Appreciate everyone watching live right now. Click the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 50,000 subscribers. It will help if the Jets didn't suck. But there's always something. I don't mean to say this in a joking manner, but Nick Shine has called in, and Nick has openly talked about the fact that he had one of his toes amputated. So there might not be a better Jet content creator to get the opinion of this Fields injury than Nick. So Nick, as a toe expert, I think it's fair to call you that. What do you make of what we know or don't know so far about Fields?
I've been waiting 25 months for this moment to be an expert. I am your toe injury expert, and I am here to tell you things can turn very bad if not taken care of or diagnosed properly, as in snip, snip on the big guy. Now, very relieved. It's not an ACL. It's not an Achilles. I know a lot of people go right to the end. I was hoping for maybe a high ankle sprain. Now, can a toe injury linger? Yes, but it can be permanent. I can pull the foot up if you need proof, but Gator's got the video. The timing of this is great, right? You know, I'm going to put my annoying positive twist on this. If you're going to get your quarterback hurt and not be out for the season, you'd want it on day 2 of camp. Of course, you don't want him to miss regular season games. So there's plenty of time. There's 6 weeks. A lot of injuries like this, 4 to 6 weeks, you hear, right? You break a toe, 4 to 6 weeks, 3 to 5 weeks, something like that. So there could be enough time for him to come back, get ready for the season, and still make week 1. But like Aaron Glenn said, we're not worried about week 1. We're not worried about week 2. We're about longevity and long term. So I don't think Jets fans have to jump off the cliff. But if you're going to be super negative and super annoying in everyone's chat, go ahead and jump. Make it easier for everybody else. We won't have to read the nonsense. But I believe he'll be okay. I believe we'll be okay. And I do have to admit, I love the way Aaron Glenn handles the adversity. Hearing him speak, hearing the way he addresses it, hearing the way that he can maybe use this as a rallying cry, maybe bring the team together. Hey, we lost that rep. The play was bad. Let's go win the next rep. That's right, Don. I'm your guy right now, Don. Giving Jake an exclusive interview from the Jets content toe expert.
So you don't think the toe needs to be amputated, is what you're saying?
Without physically diagnosing it being there, I would lean towards. I got to believe, looking at the pictures of him walking into the building yesterday, he's in good shape. He's not diabetic. He's not on the Gorman diet. So I think he's in a good situation to battle through this and still help us win plenty of games.
It's just unreal. We're having this conversation. It's just, I mean, look, obviously for those tuning in, a toe injury is better than an ACL or an Achilles, but we're not out of the woods yet. They didn't know the severity. It's obviously a significant enough injury that he limped and was in significant pain that he had to come out and they had to cart him off. And the doctors had to give an update to Darren Muji in the middle of practice. This is not nothing.
I think that's a good thing though, right? Like they went out right away like, dude, everything's intact. Maybe a cleat like ripped his toe. You know what I mean? Those metal cleats. Maybe he's got a gash on his toe. You know, maybe it ruptured the skin. Maybe whatever. But at least it's Achilles is intact, ACL's intact. You know, he's got a toe injury. He'll be fine in a couple weeks.
The King says, I'm used to this stuff happening. I'm just glad it's already happening, so maybe we can get out of the way early. I mean, the only positive I could come up with is the last time the New York Jets had a quarterback that was projected to be their starter go down with an injury in training camp, they won 10 games, and they haven't won more than 7 since. So let's hope Tyrod goes full Ryan Fitzpatrick in 2015 if we're going to go down the path of Fields having to miss significant time. I'm not there yet, but that's the only positive I have because this just sucks. I mean, and even if it's not season ending, if he misses weeks, there's development that he needs with his O-line, new scheme, new receivers. I get it. He's got the chemistry with Garrett, but everyone else he's never played with. It's so frustrating, man. Only the Jets. This fan base has been through enough.
We're tested, right? We expect the worst. You know, I slept in a little later. I've been doing the morning show at 9. I saw you going on at 9, so I'm going on after. And I'm like, I'll sleep in a little bit. And I wake up, Discord, text. Nikki's at Sophia's softball tournament in Maryland. He's FaceTiming me like 3 times in a row. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Son of a bitch. What a horrible way to start. But it doesn't sound like it's going to derail the season. It doesn't sound like it's going to derail Justin Fields from being the guy on this team. So is it convenient? No, but life's not about being convenient. It's about overcoming adversity all the time, right? Day after day. Of course, as Jets fans, we have to overcome more than most fan bases, but I'm happy that everything's intact. And I say that as someone who's lost a toe.
Based on the play design and what happened, Glenn thought that the injury happened from someone stepping on his toes. Some super chats here as we react to what we know, which is not a ton, about this Fields injury. Perry says Woody's next move needs to be to hire a shaman, priest, rabbi, pastor, monk to exorcise the demons from one Jets drive. Tristan Oliver says, feel like I'm in an AA meeting. That we're your therapist today, and you guys are mine because we're all in this together, man. I mean, this is the earliest I've had to drink the Henny bottle since Rodgers got hurt week 1 in 23, and I did a show at 8 a.m. the next day.
I'm not only your toe expert, I could be your AA expert also, Jay. So I got every avenue covered here for you. And I'm not going to be a reporter calling in and saying things like Joe Namath making a deal with the devil. I hate that shit. No offense to Nick, but anyone who with that, just stop. People
Henny
want
says
Joe Namath to pass away so they think a curse will end. Like, are we really saying those words out loud? Like, is that a human being's takes that we should validate?
Disgrace. Don't.
Oh, wait, hold on, baby. I got you.
Don't shit on the only guy that delivered a championship to this franchise. The Namath curse
I got you.
Nonsense.
Let's go.
Cheers.
Cheers, bro. That's it. Lock him up.
Henny says, I thought it was non-contact and carted off. Well, it was described as non-contact, but Glenn's description of the play says that maybe someone stepped on his toe. I mean, that's one of those things where there's a bunch of big dudes around in the pocket. Like, you don't always have the best visual of what it looked like, right? Like, so could have looked like non-contact, but maybe someone did step on his toe.
I think when they mean non-contact, it wasn't a tackle. It wasn't like a physical blow. Like, obviously, that's something incidental, right?
Yeah, this is just brutal. Once again, I want to thank the audience who is tuning in. We heard from Glenn. I'm just going to play this again just to reset for those of you who tuned in. We got over 1,000 watching live. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. You guys could subscribe to the Nick's channel too, the Nick Shine Show. This was Glenn when he provided the update. First, by the way, I think he was so nervous to give this update. He said Tyrod Taylor suffered a toe injury, and I thought he was kidding at first. Yeah. So this clip was edited down by SNY just to contain the info on Fields. But here's Glenn giving us the update that he started the press conference with a little while ago.
Justin went down with toe in the right side of his foot. Listen, I don't know the severity of the injury, but I do know it's a toe on his right side. And listen, we have an outstanding backup in Tyrod, who's been in this league for around 14 years. So the leadership that he brings, listen, we're all good. We're all good. So.
I mean, I don't know if we're all good. You know, there could be ligament damage. I hope we're all good, but man.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to hear anything with the surgery. You don't want to hear, you just want to hear either broken toe, it'll heal on its own, put it in a boot for, a week or two.
Fresh says, oh my God, Jake, you scared us earlier when you were really mad. We never saw this side of you. How long have you been watching the show? You've never seen that side of me. I mean, with all due respect, that is usually the side of me that you see during the Jets season.
Yeah, things don't go really well, man. I don't know if you're new to the Jets, but.
Yeah, I mean, this is typically what you get from me in season.
Hit the join button on the left-hand side if you're watching from your computer. JJ with a super chat. You said we're judged on W's and L's. If I bring up how many W's Salah has, you say context matter. Context, we look like a bad team after the bye. Yeah, JJ, I understand that. What do you want me to say? I'm killing them for how they played today. I'm acknowledging they stole this one. So you want me to sit here? You want to fire Robert Saleh when the team's 4-3? What do you want me to say? They did not play well today, but they won. All right? So I'm not going to sit here and do doom and gloom when they have a win over the Eagles this year, a win over the Bills. They nearly beat the Chiefs. And by the way, they're 4-3. They have a winning record. I'm not giving up on the season or firing the head coach when they are 4-3. One more time. 4-3. They won today. God. What a dumb comment. What do you want me to say? Salah's Vince Lombardi. We know there are limitations with this head coach. We understand that this team is still a work in progress. He's also playing with his backup quarterback. All right? He didn't pick Zach Wilson. He's supposed to have Aaron Rodgers. God. Oh, my God.
I mean, that's just a sample. There's also the Jaguars rant that I got pneumonia from after I had to watch Zach Wilson get benched for Chris Streveler. That happened.
Well, we start with the quarterback. All right, I'm going to get into it. We'll take your calls. I'm sure the Zach truthers will try and make excuses for Zach Wilson. Enough. He sucked. He was god-awful. And tonight was Zach Wilson's last start as the Jet quarterback ever. Barring injury, he's done. I'm sorry. I hate saying it. It's not personal. He seems like a nice kid. He's not the answer. He's not. Sorry. I don't want to hear any other takeaway from this game. You want to blame the offensive line? Sure, blame them. They were not good tonight. You want to blame the defense? That's the laziest take, and we're not allowing it. The defense allowed 19 points. That's a bad effort. They're on the field the entire game because this quarterback stinks. And I like Zach Wilson. I've defended Zach Wilson. I've tried to be patient with Zach Wilson, but it's enough. Zach Wilson truthers, he stinks. The guy is terrible. He stinks. All right? Stop defending him. He's got the lowest passer rating in the NFL this season. The lowest completion percentage in the NFL this season. He had the lowest passer rating in the NFL last season. He had the lowest completion percentage in the NFL last season. He hasn't gotten better. I was patient with Zach because he does have talent. Because he does have potential. But it's not working. It is not working. He is not the guy. This team is too good to be 7-8. All right, this defense had a, quote, bad game. They gave up 19 points. 19.
All right, you want an actual update here? Breaking news update from Ian Rappaport, just tweeted seconds ago. Jets quarterback Justin Fields carted off with a toe injury from getting stepped on from practice, suffered a dislocated toe, no fracture, and not the big toe. He's still undergoing tests, but that's the initial diagnosis. Severity is unclear. This does not sound like something that would potentially keep him out a ton of weeks. Nick, as someone who had his toe amputated, and I'm not saying this to be funny for those tuning in, Nick actually is probably the best Jet guy we could have on to talk about a toe injury.
Toe
Nick,
expert, Jake. Toe expert is
toe
what I thought
expert,
we're going
Nick
with.
Shine. Yes, your thoughts on that there from Rap Sheet.
I would just like to add to that too. Tom Pelissaro tweeted the initial report is no fracture in the toe that got stepped on in practice today. He's getting an MRI as the team continues to gather information. So sounds like everything's intact, which as your toe expert is very important. And frankly, I'm a little jealous of. But it's a good sign, right? And that nothing's broken in the foot. So now it's just a matter of, are the tendons intact? Is the ligament intact? You know, you're happy it's not the Liz Frank.
Liz Frank is such a bitch.
Yeah, you're happy that it's nothing related with that in the foot, that it is just, I'm hoping that it's maybe just a laceration from a cleat. And that's a tremendous comment, Nate. Very well done. I appreciate the pun. So it could be much worse, right? We get a quarterback carted off. We have no info. Everyone's worried about Achilles. Everyone's worried about ACL. He walks to the car. He walks from the car to the building, which was a good sign. And now we're getting positive news from this. The old Jets curses would be he would still be down on the field now an hour and a half later. So it could be worse, but it's not as bad as everybody was making it out to seem, and when the panic level got very high.
Jets chaos with a very true comment here. This is the best we could hope for with each update. I will say the updates have been certainly trending positive, considering what we all deep down were fearing when we first got word, non-contact injury to the quarterback and had to be carted off. Dislocated non-big toe. That's significant. Obviously, all toes matter. Nick Shine can tell you that, but the big toe is the toe. Justin Fields' injury could have been a lot worse. Still plenty of info to gather. That's from Ian Rappaport. You heard Nick reference Pelissero's tweet that the report on Fields is no fracture. Toe got stepped on. Getting MRI as the team continues to gather information. So, you just obviously you don't want him to be out for that long because you need him to get as many reps as possible. But I mean, the Rodgers injury did PTSD to this fan base. That's why we react the way we do, because we can't take it anymore, man. Like this could have been one of the darkest days we've had in the last couple of years, which is saying something given the amount of dark days that we've had.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit older than you, as we know. So, going back to Vinny, that opening day as well, something that we lived through was devastating. But it doesn't seem like we're anywhere near that, right? Sounds like he might miss a couple weeks. He won't play in the preseason games. And then hopefully everything's good. He's still good for September 7th, which is still 44 days away, 43, something like that, 45, whatever. There's plenty of time.
Unreal.
If he's on the mend for 2 weeks and then they start to ramp him back up, he's over on the pup for a week, then or two. The main thing is if he can be ready by this time next August, say we give him 4 weeks, we give him a month, he's still got time to get ramped up and be ready for Pittsburgh to deliver that L to them on week 1.
Correct. It's just he needs to get reps. Like I worry about him getting off to a bad start and his offense looking awful early if he doesn't get a training camp.
It's not like he's Joe Burrow, an elite pocket passer, and it's like, all right, everything will be fine when he comes back. It's just a matter of get the timing down. There is the learning curve. There is getting the timing down with all of your weapons. So it's not ideal, but as a lot of people mentioned, it could be much worse. So it's a bump in the road to success, man.
John says Jets will need to stack up on crab legs if they get Jameis. Orb says Spicy Jake is legendary. Thanks, Orb. Look, we're just trying to stay on as long as possible here. I'm on the radio. I'm filling in for Michael K locally in New York today on ESPN New York 880 from 1 to 3. So I'll certainly talk more Jets then, and then I will be back on the channel this afternoon. Hopefully, we'll get more information. But dislocated non-big toe is what we're hearing from Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network, which is certainly better than the scare of, hey, quarterback carted off, reported at first as a non-contact injury. It thankfully is not, what we thought could have been a worst-case scenario here. Given
out for you from Google AI, a dislocated toe typically takes 3 to 6 weeks to heal completely, but recovery time can vary based on the severity of the injury, the individual's overall health, and how well they follow treatment and care instructions. Initial healing is 1 to 2 weeks. Continued recovery is weeks 2 to 6.
I mean, look, he could still probably play through it too as he's recovering because he's not going to get hit in practice, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have him on the side. You'll have him working with the training staff. He'll be all right.
Dislocated non-big toe. That is what we know about Justin Fields' injury right now. Nick, if you want to hang, you certainly can. I'm going to stay on for a little while longer here, see if we get any other updates before I sign off and get ready for radio. We got David T on the line. So, David, your thoughts on the injury here?
Hi, guys. Hey, thanks for the positivity, Nick. Jake, can you hear me?
We hear you, David.
Okay, so you're not going to believe this. You're going to have to believe it because I can't make this up. So this time of year, I am able to order some Jets things and whatever. So yesterday, I had gotten my mini signed Joe Namath helmet. So I was in my glory and got the case and everything, and I set it up and all that, getting pumped up for the season. And I'm like, boy, it's gonna be really great. Training camp's opening up. It's gonna be all positive. Didn't think of injuries or whatever. And then the news today, and then I'm thinking, boy, somebody's gonna bring up the curse of Joe. And it's like, I agree with Nick. I don't particularly care to hear about that stuff, but anyway, I guess it's kind of like the best case scenario with the toe thing, and like you guys have been saying, could be a lot worse. But I do agree, Jake. New offense, new team, and new coaches. I mean, he needs to get in there and get good practice, but I guess it's not meant to be.
Better than him being lost for the year, David. I agree. It just sucks. It's just like we all, even if it ends up not being, a catastrophic injury here, it's still just the PTSD. Like you see it come out immediately in this fan base, and it's just brutal.
And if it takes Mr. Namath and myself to pass away for the curse to go, I'm just not willing to, all due respect, just not willing to give in to that yet,
There is no curse. Don't believe it. It's certainly not a Namath curse. That is for sure.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
David, you're the man. Everyone rock out to David T.
I got my eye on you. Checkmate me full screen. It's fireball whiskey time. David motherfucking T.
Yeah. Thanks to David T for the call there. A couple super chats. Mike says, now that we got the update, do you still think we should sign another quarterback? I need to know what the actual update is, right? We've gotten a couple of, hey, it's not, an ACL or an Achilles where it's like, well, his year's over. But we also got an update that it's still an unknown severity with the injury. They don't know yet. So, if it's something that could keep him out months, then yes. If it's something that 3 weeks he could rest up and be healed, then probably not. But it's going to depend on stuff like that.
I don't think you make a move based off of this. Everything that Aaron Glenn said, they believe in Tyrod. I think you're still ready to go. Now, if this prolongs, he has a setback, yeah, you want to get another veteran arm in before the regular season. But as of today, I'm sure the Muji will do his due diligence, right? He'll make some calls, he'll check availability on maybe some backups like Winston or others, and you kick the tires. You have to. When you have something like this, you have to prepare for the worst, right?
Well, if there's reports that they're kicking the tires on options, then it's more serious than we want to believe. Because if it's just a couple weeks, I mean, season's not till September 7th. Like you have a couple weeks for Fields to get healthy.
Yeah, but you got to prepare for a setback. You know what I mean? If you got to bring in a backup QB who might be the backup for opening day, you want to get him in here a little earlier. So you want to have a plan in place. You don't have to pull the trigger on that plan yet, but as a GM, you should be making calls to check what it would cost to get certain types of players in here. And Teddy Bridgewater was I right away. First thing I did when I hung up with Nikki this morning was check available quarterbacks, and Teddy Bridgewater's played with them in Detroit. He's beloved in NFL locker rooms. He's a first-class character. He fits what they want to do, and I mean, Bridgewater, even though he was out of the NFL a little bit, as a veteran, he could step in and give you a little bit if something were to happen to Tyrod, if Fields has to really miss some time.
My mom would like to share that she had toe surgery and healed in 3 weeks. So that's a positive note. So my mom is watching the show, trying to be positive. So there you go. I don't know if it's quite the same thing as an NFL quarterback suffering an injury, but hey, there's some positivity. 3 weeks and Fields is healthy. We'll sign for that.
Jake, it's much more difficult being a mom than it is an NFL quarterback. So
right.
Kudos to your mom.
Absolutely. Mickey says, don't want to see Fields get injured, but I've been saying all offseason Tyrod's better. I think we're a better team with Tyrod as QB1. Even if that's true, Mickey, who cares? It's not a significant difference. And Tyrod Taylor's 35 years old. Like, he's not your future. Justin Fields has the upside to do what Sam just did last year, what Baker has done in Tampa, what Geno did in Seattle. Like, that's what you're hoping, that you actually don't then need to use a first-round pick on a rookie in the draft next year. It's that Fields could be your guy. Tyrod could have the Fitzpatrick season this year. Who cares? He's not your answer. Like, we know what he is. Like, he unfortunately has had so many injury problems in his career. He might be better if, like, one game to win, maybe you take Tyrod. I don't know if I would necessarily, but, like, that's kind of irrelevant here. Like, Tyrod himself can't make it through 17 games, so that's why they need to add a quarterback, because Tyrod will start no matter who they add, but you need to add a quarterback because you know Tyrod's making it through a full season healthy.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right.
Citybird, trade for Zach. I feel like he is starter forever. Yes. Trade for Zach Wilson. That's the answer, folks. Exactly. Then shoot me in the head immediately after that transaction.
Say, your crash outs, you know you're my boy. I love you. But when you crash out, man, it's my favorite thing.
I'm glad my pain makes you happy, Nick.
Well, you know what? I'm the opposite end of the spectrum, right? Like I used to be young and fiery and losing my mind. So now, like, being older and like not letting it get to me, I can live vicariously through you in those moments.
I just
sorry, bud.
Yeah, it's unreal.
You'll get where I am one day.
Yeah, press conference yesterday, disaster. Now, today, press conference, audio's perfect. And Justin Fields suffered an injury. God. Tyrone says, why is it these players get hurt so much in the past when they really hit each other? You hardly had this constant issue. I don't know. Well, go Jet. This is just bad luck. I mean, they're not even wearing pads yet, Tyrone. Like, Fields is also in a non-contact jersey. He's wearing the red jersey out there. This is just bad luck. I mean, that's what sucks. Castaway Jet says, imagine the press conference audio cuts out. If that cut out today, oh my God, people would be rioting outside One Jets Drive. Mad Team says, go Alyssa. Yes, my mom, survivor of toe surgery. Thank you, Mad Team. Man, we are waiting to get some updates here. This is the latest from Ian Rappaport, that it is a non-big toe injury, dislocated toe. No fracture, which is good. Not his big toe, which is obviously good. More tests today, and we'll, I'm sure, get an update on the severity of this afternoon.
Yeah, right now you're looking for, does he have to have surgery? Is there ligament damage done also with the dislocation? You know, the MRI will tell us a lot of what we need to know and what the path to recovery will be.
Dr. Robbie Sabo tweeted, "Is this correct? Dislocation on non-big toe," from Rappaport. I'm hearing. Robbie, why don't you just check his Twitter account? You don't need to add that sentence. "My good people, the difference between the big toe and the non-big toe is massive. I really wouldn't worry about it as long as it's the non-big toe." Well, Dr. Sabo says don't worry about it, Jet fans.
I
So,
will concur. The big toe is pretty important in the whole process of foot. I mean, I'm still able to. I don't have one, but I'm able to still run and cut and do things. But I'm not an NFL quarterback, so it's huge. You hope it's like the pinky toe, right? Like you hope it's like the little toe that doesn't matter. But we'll
how
see.
much you
We'll
want to
find out.
bet that it was Michael Clemens who probably stepped on Fields?
It would be the most impactful play that awful football player has made in his career. He's never made an impactful, positive play.
It's just brutal. All right. Do some more calls here before we wrap. I guess I'll go to maybe about 11:30, then I'll get out of here because I got to get to Soho for the ESPN show. Then we're back this afternoon, people. Jiggy the Jetman is on the line. Hello, Jiggy.
What's up, man? How you guys doing?
Hey, Jiggy.
What's up, bro?
Alright. So I was just calling to say that I feel like a lot of people on Twitter, a lot of the Jets fan were kind of overreacting. I know now that we know, it's not a major injury, but like I truly believe that Tyrod's floor is higher, but Justin Fields' ceiling is a lot higher, obviously. That's why, we're giving him the money and giving him the starting job. But like God forbid, he did go down. I feel like Tyrod, as long as he stayed healthy, has the ability to like get us over 7 wins, maybe get us to the playoffs. And I don't think that like Muji in the front office would spend the extra money to probably get a backup because like at the end of the day, it's still going to be their first year as the new coach and as a new GM. So they still have a bunch of leeway where they could hold on to that money and use it to better the future for next year instead of just throwing it into another backup quarterback for a year that might not pan out well anyway. You
Yeah,
know what
but
I mean?
the thing is, though, Jiggy, you're not wrong with what you say about Tyrod, but like, if he stays healthy, he never stays healthy. Go look at the last time Tyrod Taylor played a full season. It's been like 10 years almost.
Yeah, that's true. But now, he has some more experience. He's probably not going to be taking those hits, probably throwing the ball away a little bit more. Like, you learn as you grow. And as like a player, like you don't want to get hurt every time that you go out there. So you have to learn from your experiences. You know what I mean? And we do have a better offensive line.
He's
Some of
just
the
he's just
offensive
frail
line.
though. Like his body just like unfortunately has felt like even if you take care of yourself, like you're not going to go clean in the pocket every week. You're going to take hits at some point. Like it's football. Like you could even with the rules protecting the quarterbacks the way they do, like he's just not his body at age 36. I don't think is going to be more durable than his body was at age 28. So if he has to play 3 games, yeah, I think Tyrod Taylor is a good option, but projecting him for a full year, that's why thank God. This is not, at least with Fields, something that it feels like it's going to be, season ending, maybe not even cost them any gains, but we still don't know the full severity yet. So we're not out of the woods just yet.
As long as
And
it's not
Jiggy, when you mentioned Tyrod Taylor, I mean, Tyrod's a better pocket passer, right? So there are some things that he's better at then. Would you have to change the playbook? No, you'd probably just call more pocket passing plays than you would the mobile plays that you would for Fields. And maybe this is a good thing. Maybe this makes Fields become a little bit more diligent in the pocket in the practice, and they hold off on the running plays until he's fully healthy, and he just becomes maybe a better passer from this. So maybe something good can come out of it. We'll see.
Yeah, and with it not being his big toe, like, they can still throw him out there and still have him going through the motions, probably not throwing the ball, full, 90% arm, like just going through the motions, going through his reads, still having him out there, not going through the whole thing. So like, yeah, it might set back a little bit, but like he'll still be able to practice and still get some of those mental reps and still, go through the motions with his teammates, which at the end of the day matters. Because if it was something bigger, he would have had to been, on the sidelines or completely off the field. So it's still looking good, just a little hiccup. Day 2 scares.
Yep. Jiggy, I like the positivity, and I hope it's not as serious as we thought. Not out of the woods just yet. I do want to try and end the show on some positivity. I just gifted 5 channel memberships from now until the next 5 minutes. double the memberships if you want to enter the raffle. We're going to give away a Joe Namath helmet on Monday this week. So your chance to win that. If you gift, you're entered in the raffle. Double. 5 is 10, 10 is 20. So I just put 5 memberships forward. If you hear your name called, you're entered in Monday's raffle. Derek Q, Mickey, Pat Rich, Extinguish the Guilt, Jorge Marino, all receiving a gifted membership there. Try and give people a chance to be a channel member here. Get a free super chat every month, loyalty badge next to your name, bonus clips, early release shows, all that and more. And since I gifted the memberships, I get to pick a video of my choice.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
We're going to find out if Aaron Glenn's ready, because adversity has struck. Shout out to Mr. Gorilla Salad. He enters the Asmaniac raffle for 5 with this.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Just kidding. I lied. It's actually 10 because I said we'll double all gifted memberships. Chris Palmero, Kyle Clifton, 3 siblings, Dan Phil Cox, and John B. all just received gifted memberships there. So love that. If you guys want double raffle entries, now is the time. We'll do a couple calls here before we wrap. Philly Noodles is next today. What's up, Philly?
Hey, what's going on? Can you guys hear me?
What's going on, Philly?
Not much, dude. How you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah, so I'd like to know who stepped on his toe. We'd like his paycheck. Whoever did it. You can forward that over to the Jake Asman show because you're a jerk-off. Whoever did it. You know, that's not it. I hope it wasn't a lineman. If you want my honest opinion, I hope it wasn't a lineman, especially Membu. And if it is Membu, get that out of your system now. Sending a spike through our guy, big, one of his other toes. But you know what? This now it gives us a little insight of what they think about the QB room, right? Are they going to come out with a third QB instead of writing maybe 2 on the practice squad or 1? Do they bring Martinez? Do they go and look and scour who gets dropped? One thing I think to look at is QB coach coming from Seattle. He had Howell with him, right? Maybe, they shake a tree at Sam Howell. I wouldn't like it, but you know what I mean? Like, we'll see what Moogie and the staff have in mind about the team now. That's my opinion.
I mean, they clearly like Tyrod because they kept him, right? And I think anyone likes Tyrod if it's, hey, go start a couple games here. But the original fear was, oh God, like non-contact, carted off the field for Justin Fields. You're thinking the worst. Look, non-big toe, non-fracture, like that's positive. It still could be something that limits his mobility, though, which is now a concern because that's how this offense was designed to be, utilizing that strength of Fields.
And as we all know right here in this call right here, the 3 of us, what was the big JD problem? We didn't get another backup quarterback. So it's like, yes, we got Tyrod. So I don't know. Let's see how the media wants to spin it on them. I think as the last caller said, I don't think they're going to go nuts. It is what it is. But I'm interested to see what does happen. And again, whoever stepped on that damn freaking foot and toe, we want your check, bro. We want the check, roster bonus check. Let's pass it out. You're a jerk off, and let's go Jets.
Well, this is the downside of having a mobile quarterback in practice. They wear the red shirts because, for many years, quarterbacks weren't that mobile, right, Jake? So you had the red jersey on. You're in the pocket. The pocket has like an umbrella protection around it. You know not to go near the quarterback. But now when you got a running quarterback and he's cutting, making plays, it's tougher. This is where something incidental can happen. It's not like he leveled them in the pocket and it was something egregious. It's just incidental contact. Unfortunately, with a mobile quarterback, this is a risk you take.
So frustrating. We're doubling memberships for the next 5 minutes, and then I'm going to wrap up this show here. Thanks to everyone who's tuned in. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I talk Jets each and every day. Thanks to everyone who helped me just hit over 47,000 subscribers. I want to get to 50,000. So that's the goal. So appreciate all of you who are supporting this channel day in, day out. J-Boy gifted 5 channel memberships. J-Boy is in our raffle now for 10.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
We're going to find out, Aaron Glenn. Thank you, J-Boy. Steven says, I was right there with you guys on the ledge, not breathing and speechless. Yes, PTSD, but We're the New York Jets. We're used to this shit. Yeah, I mean, look, another day in Jetland. Just things were going too well. No drama, getting Sauce and Garrett signed, Mason Taylor signed, no controversies, everyone showing up to camp, and a scare on day 2. Hopefully it is not the worst. The updates have been positive. Once again, the latest update for those just tuning in, according to the NFL Network, Fields carted off with toe injury from getting stepped on, dislocated toe, no fracture, and not the big toe. So that is as positive as it could be for the type of injury that we feared initially. Jason says, guy who stepped on Justin Fields' toe was the guy who hosted the football camp that Justin Fields didn't go to and didn't reimburse the $400 laid out for the flight.
That's a good comment.
Ladies and gentlemen, a throwback to the last time the Jets had a quarterback who was projected to go down in training camp.
And
Jets
we
won
had
10
a veteran
games.
who's bounced around from team to team, step in and take place. So maybe a little.
Tyrod Taylor, baby. He's ready.
Toe rod. Nice. I love the toe puns. I'm a big fan of toe puns, obviously.
Big fella checks in with a $20 super chat. We're giving you 10 entries for this, big fella. Doubling the fun. Jake, this is the exact reason why I said yesterday we should draft a quarterback first round next season. Regardless, running QBs are more apt to injury and are too crucial a position. Fields is okay. Pray Fields is okay in quick recovery. Sure, but I mean, like the Ravens don't take a quarterback every year and they have Lamar, right? There's levels to it. Like Josh Allen's a running quarterback too. He takes hits. Like Fields, you would take a quarterback next year if you're just not sold on Fields being the guy, which is in all likelihood more likely than not what ends up happening. But we want to at least get the chance to see it. No one thought Sam Darnold was going to have the year he did, or Baker the last couple of years in Tampa, or Geno turning into a viable starter. Like we wanted to see it, and it felt like for a moment, Nick, it got ripped away from us before we even got to see anything.
Yeah, and we're taking a quarterback next year. When and how is to be determined based off how Fields play. Do we have to trade up, go all in, and get a franchise guy? Do we take a developmental guy in round 3 because Fields does really well this year? We're definitely taking a quarterback early next year. We just don't know how early.
Couple calls before we wrap. Gator McCluskey's on the line. Hello, Gator.
Is there a more stressed out fan base than the Jets fan base? I don't think there's a team in professional sports that is snake bitten like we are. I know there's actually 6 weeks and 2 or 3 days between now and the time where we start against Pittsburgh game. But like, what if? I feel bad for Fields saying this. What if Tyrod has to start the first few games and does really well? Now we have a quarterback controversy. Does Fields actually is he held back while Tyrod goes on a run? These are the things that go through my head. And considering how he lost his job to Russell Wilson and how that might go for him, I really hope that this kid can somehow get back to practice in a few weeks. I think it's the only way that he starts that Pittsburgh game, because it's going to be strange if Tyrod starts and does really well.
He's the guy if he does really well, by the way. Like I know, like if Tyrod comes in and he actually has to start and looks good, I'm riding with him until something happens to Tyrod.
You beat Buffalo, you're the guy. I don't care. You beat Buffalo in week 2, it's your job until the wheels completely.
He wins week 1 against Rodgers. I'm starting him week 2. Like I'm trying to win games, man. This team is talented. I never thought Fields was the long-term answer anyway. So like, eventually Tyrod's going to get hurt and then Fields will get his chance then.
Yeah. I never thought we'd be here. And it's like every single day of practice now, what are we going to be thinking? Oh, is Garrett getting hurt? Is this guy getting hurt? That guy getting hurt? This is the life that we're going to live because of what's happened to our 2 quarterbacks in the last 2 years. Yeah. And a lot of other players. It's just this constant sort of like assumption that the worst is going to happen. Sucks being a Jets fan. That's all I got, Jake.
Gator.
Nick, peace.
Later, buddy.
Appreciate your help streaming Glenn's presser. That was Gator. Helped me on that in real time. It wasn't planned because you can never plan for your quarterback the team invests $40 million into to get hurt on the second day of practice when they're not even wearing pads, but that is life as a Jet fan. Ladies and gentlemen.
The most expensive investment we ever lost.
That is true too.
See? Positive.
Earlier today, one of our own, Purple Belt Mike, had his ACL operated on. He's fresh out of surgery, and he's calling in right now. Hello, Mike. Uh-oh.
Yo, what's up, guys?
How you feeling, buddy?
How you feeling? How'd it go?
It's good. You know, got the nerve block. Still have some pain. They said that's gonna happen. Purple Belt wife is driving me home. She's over here, being good.
Did you just say I'm being good?
Yeah. I don't know. What the fuck am I saying? Got some
It's
medication.
the meds. It's the meds. Don't pay attention to them.
Yeah. I didn't like the fact that the first thing I hear when I get out of surgery is Justin Fields got carted off. I'm like, fuck. But now I'm hearing from you that it's a toe. So, I mean, that shouldn't be too bad, right? Toes, right? Should be okay.
Doesn't sound season ending. Doesn't sound like he needs the old Nick Shine amputation. So I think all things considered, non-big toe, non-fracture, we're talking about dislocation. That, to me, doesn't scream, can't play week 1, but I'm not a doctor. I don't know. We don't have an MRI yet. So until I get that, I'm not going to say if we're out of the woods completely because I don't know.
Gotcha. I wore all my Jet stuff too today because I wanted to rep my guys. So hopefully all is good. And yeah, man.
How quickly when they had you count the 10 before they put you out did you make it?
I didn't even do that. One of the guys in the operating room had a Knicks lanyard, and I said, let's fucking go, Knicks. This is our year. And before he could say anything, I was out.
That's hilarious.
So, I don't even know what he said.
This is our year. That was obviously the meds kicking in, and you were already talking to
He was laughing when I said that, but I didn't even get a response. I didn't see him after, so.
Hey, what was it like to have Purple Belt wife by your side today?
It's great. She's always by my side. The only difference, this is a hospital. So, yeah, but.
So fame from this show hasn't changed her?
No. She watched the intro. She liked it. She couldn't believe the AI and Gator, how he can do that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, he does it with everything. It's awesome.
Well, Mike, we're glad it went well. And sorry that the first thing you had to see was thinking Justin Fields was probably done for the year, but it's not season ending, we don't think. So at least we have that right now.
Yeah, let's pray. Let's get our boy Justin Fields out there and hope it's, nothing serious. And hopefully we feel better than me right now. So let's go.
Purple Belt wife, she's the Dark Knight. She has a lazy husband who forgets to clean potatoes. Maybe someday she'll get some help, but for now she's just a Purple Belt wife. Purple Belt wife, she might not be purple, but she can kick her husband's ass.
Sorry, I cut you off there, Nick. I know you had a very pertinent question for Mike, I'm sure.
I was just curious. The ACL surgery I had led to the fall down the stairs, led to the toe loss. So I was just curious what type of ACL surgery you had, if you got the cadaver replacement or.
Also, Dylan with a great comment here. Glad to hear PBW is being good. Mike, how's your wife? She's being good. Is she like a child on her best behavior? Big fellow with a super chat, then one last call, and then we'll wrap. Reset the toe. Tape it to one next to it. Get Rex to kiss it. Rub some dirt on it, and get Fields' ass to practice next week. Let's go, Jets. Nick, your thoughts? Do we need to call in Rex Ryan potentially?
If I'm Justin Fields, I want Rex Ryan nowhere near my feet.
Okay.
Or any feet or anywhere near the facility.
So you don't want to bring in one of the toe experts, aficionado. What's the word I'm looking for? Aficionados that is been associated with the Jets. StreamYard's acting up.
There's a difference between a toe expert and being overly fascinated by toes, and I think that's the category that he falls into. And yeah, you don't want Rex diddling with your feet.
So you don't consider Rex a expert on toes?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm still going to play this anyway.
Oh, yeah. You know what time it is. You tried to throw him away, but this man's coming back.
Sometimes he's fat or thin. That waistband makes him slim. He's got the fix you need. They call him sexy. Rexy.
Fuck Gruden, he's no jet. I'm here to crack some skulls. I'll turn these boys to men. This team is stacked with pros. Hire me, you won't break your purse. I'm here to break the curse. They call me sexy. Rexy. Fuck all you naysayers.
Ooh, sexy. Ooh, he's sexy, Rexy, sexy. Ooh, he's sexy, Rexy, sexy. Ooh, he's sexy, Rexy, sexy. Ooh, he's sexy, Rexy.
Yeah, baby. Sexy Rexy. Yeah.
Speaking of wives, I would love to know what Gator's wife said if she were to walk down the hall or into his office and hear him recording that. Like, what are you working on now? It's something for Jake's show. Don't worry.
Spencer Green, can you ask Beastbreaker how much ice we need for Justin Fields? Yes, Beast's recommendation was just get a lot of ice and Fields will be fine. So we will find out this afternoon when Beast is on how much ice we need for Justin. With that said, one last call, and then I got to run. I'll talk more about Fields on ESPN New York today from 1 to 3 on the ESPN New York app or 8:80 a.m. Let's say hello to one of the greats that regularly calls into the show. It's time to say hello to the great One Punch, Dave Briga.
He thinks that Charles and Bobby need to get a job. This cowboy hates to see us maniacs complain. What they call him One Punch Briga. You need to get a job. What they call him One Punch Briga. The beast is on his ass. Call him One Punch Briga. Has anyone seen Bean Mac? Call him One Punch Briga. You only need one.
Dave.
Hey, good morning. It never ends, gentlemen. How are you today? Well, anyway, I have some experience with foot issues, myself and my wife. Anyway, years ago, the effects of wearing high heels for my wife caused a hammer toe. Okay, so you know what a hammer toe looks like. It just sticks straight up like this, right? So she couldn't get in the shoe. So she had it repaired. Just got to go back into the 80s. So the doctor pinned it. Okay, so in the process of the healing, when it healed, he went to pull the pin out, and half of the pin stayed in the foot, in the toe, next to the bone. And so she still remains with that piece of the steel in her toe to this day. And I always give her credit because she never complained, and she went back to work. And so it's toe injuries are not easy to deal with. Also, myself, has anybody Nick knows her experience. Yeah, so people that go through this, they don't. If anybody's seen the feet of hockey players, you would know that we take a tremendous beating in our feet from the skates. My toes, if I were to show you, but especially my big toes, not to compare myself with Nick, but they're all the nails are just completely shot. I mean, they're just from blocking shots, getting down in front of pucks.
Let's see it, Dave. I'd love to see your toes.
No, I'm not going to do it.
As are the 10,000 people that are probably going to see this video.
No, I'm not going to show you that. That's very.
No, okay.
It'd be
I'll
very
go first.
disturbing.
Dave, what if I go first, Dave? Would that make you feel better?
Yeah,
No,
Nick,
I'm
can
not-
you show your toe?
Good.
Come
Yeah,
on.
we
Give
don't-
us,
we-
give us one
we
of
don't want
these.
to get into that. No.
Dave, if I'm showing the toe on air, there's a lot of money coming with that.
We're
No.
manifesting positivity, man. I'll show my toe if you show your toe.
Yeah, well, you have the toe. That's normal.
Yeah.
But needless to say, guys got to play. I'm from a different era. We played through pain. I'm not comparing myself to professional athletes, but these guys, hockey players, they've gone to the playoffs with broken legs, broken everything. So I don't know how these guys get injured today. This guy that stepped on his toe, whatever lineman was, I mean, come on, you got to stay away from the quarterback in these situations. I mean, we have too much pain. We don't need the excess pain. But toe injuries are people think that they're few and far between, but they're not. It happens to everyday people. Everyday people limp around. So hopefully he gets over this injury quickly. And that's my take on toes and feet. So I've seen it in my own family, and I've gone through it myself. To this day, your feet are never the same when you play hockey. I can just tell you that much. Also, I'll tell you one of the few times I went skiing, I put the boot in. I rented the boots because we went to some place and my buddies wanted to go skiing. They were They were all tipsy, and they wanted to go to the top of the mountain. So I put the boot in, and but my foot felt funny, like it was soaked. I thought maybe from all the snow and everything. I go to take my shoe off, and there's nothing but blood. The shoe was filled with blood. The whole boot was filled with blood. So that never did my feet any good either. So the feet and toes, we take it for granted, Nick knows, never take these things for granted. I mean, so we're all going to, so unfortunately our quarterback has a toe injury. I don't think it's because it's not the big toe. You just tape it up and get out there once he's get healed, he should be able to survive. So that's, what can you say? What can you say? We can't make it up.
It's always something, Dave Briga, but I'll tell you what.
But Jake, I don't want to see you get anxious. You don't let these comments drive you to anxiety. You have enough anxiety dealing with this.
The Jets do that on their own. I get annoyed when I get 50 texts and calls from people who know I do what I do for a living, being like, "You see what happened to Fields?" No, I missed it, man. I had no idea, no clue that the guy who's live for 4 hours a day talking about the Jets, who haven't made the playoffs since 2010, missed out on the second day of practice. The quarterback getting hurt. Yep, I had no clue.
Well, they pester you. They pester you beyond belief.
I get pestered, Dave, but hopefully it's good news with Fields. And anytime you want to show your toes on the show, you're more than welcome to. All right.
No, Nick and I, we don't want to get into that. Nick is far worse than mine will ever be. I mean, I don't want to. That's I just got. They're just I'm
punching down, Dave. Stop punching down. All right. I know. I do.
I feel no offense, Nick. I don't want to offend you, buddy. But then when they start talking about curses, then it's gotten so long. This ridiculous about the curse. I started thinking to myself, "Am I the curse? Maybe I'm the curse. I don't know." I've been around so long with this team. Who knows? Except for Joe Benigno, that's the guy that might be the curse.
Blaming Joe,
I'll buy into that. I'll buy into
it. Ladies and gentlemen, now that is a take.
I'm only kidding.
Sing it, Dave. Sing.
We are mama way.
What a call from Briga. Nick, thank you for hopping on as our resident toe expert in the Jet content community. If you want to,
that I had to use my superpowers here, but it doesn't sound like it's too bad, and we should have him back in time for the season opener, which is what's most important, right?
Yep, let's hope so. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Shine, the Nick Shine Show. Go subscribe to Nick's channel. I'm on the radio in almost an hour from now, 1 to 3. I will talk plenty about the toe of Fields and what the latest is. We might get some updates over the next couple hours. I'm going to be live in the afternoon, so we will be back with a show, and hopefully we will have some sort of update by then, a positive one. Once again, the latest is that Justin Fields' injury is a dislocated non-big toe, so not a fracture. Obviously, not being the big toe is huge. So let's see whether or not we get anything more this afternoon. I want to thank again everyone who tuned in live. At one point, we had about 300, 400 more people watching us than the actual Jets YouTube channel when Glenn went live. So best community in sports. Shout out to the Asmaniacs. Thank you guys so much for your tremendous support. If you want to join my Patreon, you get access to the Discord. You get 20% year-round off every item in my merch store at jakeasman.com. Access to exclusive events. Your name will be added to that intro, of course. We update the list every month, so a couple days from now, we'll update it for August. Patreon.com/JakeAsmanShow. I got asked, hey, what's the best way to support you? Patreon, baby. So shout out to everyone who is a part of our community in there. I will be back once again this afternoon. You got me for 2 hours coming up on radio and for Michael K. So get ready for more toe talk, baby. We're all going to be toe experts by the time we get to the end of this week. On that note, there's probably only one clip that is fitting the play on a day like today. Aaron Glenn, take it away.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.